it out for themselves. They will be completely annihilated. The warning comes ahead of a White House meeting with Israel over Iran's nuclear program early next week. Fox News senior strategic analyst, retired four-star General Jack Keane. Remember, the president sent a letter to the Grand Ayatollah, said you have 2 months to comply or else all bets are off. Where do you think Iran, how do you think Iran is digesting these messages from the Trump administration?
Well, certainly, I think based on the evidence that, the first administration that they dealt with, they know they're serious. That's number one. Listen, Iran is so much back on their heels, never have been in this place in 44 years. I mean, they're completely defenseless at home in terms of an attack by Israel, with the United States cooperating. They know that. They've lost their strategic platform in Syria, and their proxies, except for the Houthis, have been decimated, and now the Houthis, are on the path to destruction as well. The one thing they have left that they're really holding on to and want to hold on to is their nuclear enterprise development. They know if they acquire a nuclear weapon, it guarantees the preservation of the regime in their minds. And that's why they've always wanted this weapon to begin with. So I think they're going to do everything they can to delay the inevitable, which was likely we're on a path to Israel-led U.S.-supported strike to take down their nuclear enterprise as much as possible.
Do we do
coercive diplomacy first? That's what the president is doing. And then a follow-on military operation if they don't comply.
Immediately they said, how dare you give us an ultimatum? And now they said we are writing a letter back to Trump after his initial letter. How significant was last weekend's hit on the Houthis? We've heard Israel hit them. We've hit them before. Was anything different about last week?
Well, I think what has really happened is the scale and magnitude. I mean, there's been like 89, 90-plus sorties run against the Houthis. We've never done anything like that, since they began attacking shipping in the Red Sea on October the 19th. So this is the most consequential attack for sure. We're challenged because the Houthis have been under air campaign from the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the UAE for almost 7 years. And a lot of what they do is underground. They proved that they could sustain significant attacks against them during those 7 years. We don't have anybody on the ground, so the targets are challenging. That is why the president's warning to Iran is so significant. He's telling you, I'm going to hold you accountable if you continue to support these Houthis. And the CENTCOM commander, the same one that recommended to Biden over 100 targets inside of Iran, military targets only, to shut down support for the Houthis and the other proxies, the Biden administration rejected it. Certainly the Trump administration has those targets, and they have a commander that's willing to obviously shoot them, and the Secretary of Defense that feels the same way about it. So he's got that quiver ready to use, that arrow in his quiver ready to use. And coercive diplomacy being used here as well. Get Iran's attention, get them to stop. If they don't do it, we're going to have to force them.
Another round.
All right, I'm going to stop it right there. I'm going to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. And Shalom to 144,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah from the GMS Denver camp. Doing a lesson in regards to what you see right here, current news. So, Donald Trump and the U.S. have pretty much given Iran an ultimatum when it comes to their nuclear development programs. Because as you know, the United States and Israel, they don't want Iran to obtain nuclear missiles because, they feel like they're going to, attack if they do. Now, one thing you got to realize is that biblical prophecy is what's going to take place. And we know through prophecy that eventually, and probably pretty soon, it's going to heat up to the point where Russia and its allies are going to destroy America, all right, and the land of Israel over there. And we can prove that in the scriptures, you know what I'm saying? Because right now, America's talking big shit. The pride of their heart has deceived them. And, if you know anything about Iran, if the Americans attack Iran, that could lead to Russia stepping in. All right? Because Russia and Iran have pretty close ties, man. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, let's get Ezekiel 38 to prove this. All right, here we have it, the book of Ezekiel, chapter 38. It says, "And the word of the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him." Now we understand, all right, through the breakdown that Gog and Magog are one and the same. The word Magog just means land of Gog. And Gog represents today the Russians. Okay? The so-called Russians over there, which are Edomites, by the way. But they're over there in that land. And prophetically speaking, they represent Gog right here in these last days. Now, verse 3, it says, "And say, Thus saith the Lord power, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal." Now, that's showing you that Russia is the, pretty much the big dog over there in that region. All right. And they're making alliances with other nations, and they're looking to Russia to be the contender against the United States and the West. All right. Verse 4 says, "And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords." So this is the Lord talking about him bringing Russia into that warlike mind state, man. All right, gearing them up for World War III to come up against America in the West. This is the Lord's doing. The Lord tells you that he ruleth in the kingdom of men. The Lord tells you that he turneth the hearts of the kings whithersoever he will. And he's doing that, man. He controls the minds of all these leaders. All right, our God, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, controls everything that's going on right here. And as he said through the prophet Ezekiel, he's going to put hooks into the jaws of the Russians, all right, which is Gog in the scriptures. And he's going to get them ready for war, him and, Russia and their allies, Iran included. Because it goes on the list a few different nations. And the first one is Persia. And the Iranians are Persians. You see? Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them. All of them with shield and helmet. You see? Gomer and all his bands. And the house of Togarmah, or the north quarters, and all his bands. And the bands, it means armies. And many people with thee. So Russia's going to have many allies to come up against America. All right, aka Babylon the Great. And let's see here, verse 7, it says, "Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." That's the point I want to emphasize right here. Russia is the big brother, quote unquote, of these other nations. And as you know, Russia, they have a nuclear arsenal, as well as hypersonic missiles, man. You see, which the U.S. can't defend against. All right? If you ever seen a hypersonic missile in action, man, it's crazy. It's crazy looking. It's so damn fast, man. It's like you have no time to stop that. You can't shoot that out of the air. All they got to do is put nuclear warheads on them, and it's a wrap. And I'm pretty sure they've already done this. And, I'm just speaking as a man, but I believe that Iran already has nuclear weapons, or, easy access to them because of their ties with Russia. All right. Here's an article that came out earlier this year from AP News. It says, "Russia and Iran sign a partnership treaty to deepen their ties in the face of Western sanctions." All right, you got, President, Vladimir Putin over there from Russia. All right. shaking hands with Masoud Pezeshkian. If that's how you pronounce that. Okay. You see a leader over there in Iran. Now it says Russian President Vladimir Putin and his Iranian counterpart Masoud Pezeshkian signed a broad cooperation pact Friday as their countries deepened their partnership in the face of stinging Western sanctions. See, these other nations, man, they're tired of America, man. And that's why they're cutting America out of a lot of different, business deals and whatnot. Eventually it's going to come to the point where missiles are going to be shot. It's going to escalate to that point, man. Just as biblical prophecy, tells us. All right, now it says Russian and Iranian officials say the Comprehensive Strategic Partnership Treaty covers all areas from trade and military cooperation to science, education, and culture. The 20-year treaty could be extended further. Putin praised the deal as a real breakthrough, creating conditions for the stable and sustainable development of Russia, Iran, and the entire region. Like I mentioned earlier, all those other smaller countries, they're being gathered unto Russia, man, because the Lord said that Russia's going to be a guard to these other nations. Okay? So it's right here in the script, in this article, but it links to the scriptures. He said the amount of trade and economic cooperation was still insufficient, voicing hope the new treaty will help clear bureaucratic hurdles and expand ties. The Russian leader added that the countries are trying to resolve technical obstacles to advance planned projects to ship Russian natural gas to Iran via Azerbaijan and build transport corridors to Iranian ports in the Gulf. So they doing work, man. All right. They got serious ties, Russia and Iran. Pezeshkian said the projects are feasible, adding that experts are working to resolve remaining obstacles. We witness a new chapter of strategic relations, the Iranian president said, adding that the countries were set to expand trade ties and also boost the level of security cooperation. Come on, man. You see what's going on here. All right. Russia and Iran are close. You got the United States and Israel over there threatening Iran. All right. So we'll see how this plays out, man. We know how it's going to play out. All right. It's going to lead to full-on World War III. Now I want to make a point. All right. We always make this point that before everything goes nuclear, okay, there has to be the mark of the beast prophecy that plays out, which is, the governments of the world implementing the RFID microchip as a new source of payment instead of cash, credit card, and whatnot. The digital infrastructure is already here. It just takes an event to take place for them to make it the new standard. And that's the hour of temptation. You already know if you receive the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip, you're doomed to destruction. All right. Because it's spoken of in Revelation 13, verse 16 on down through 18. All right. And that's major prophecy that has to happen. Now, this is just me speaking as a man, knowing that it has to happen before it goes nuclear. What I'm thinking is it could be in the near future an attack that's going to escalate World War III and really, get it popping to the point where Americans are going to be scared and different citizens of other nations are going to be afraid. And they're going to try to say, look, man, in order to identify you, you're going to have to make sure that you're 100% authenticating your citizenship. And the only way we can do that is by you receiving this digital implant to link you in to the grid. All right. They might do that, man. That could be how they bring this mark forth. Okay. And many people are going to be scared. They're going to do it. All right. But anyway, that's just me speaking as a man. We'll see how it plays out, we'll see how the Lord's going to do it. But we do know for a fact that before everything goes nuclear, all right, the mark of the beast has to be made mandatory. All right, here we have the book of Isaiah, chapter 13 and verse 17. All right, it says, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. Now, the Medes right here represent the Russians as well. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Prophetically speaking. Now, they're not going to regard any kind of peace talks from the United States. All right? They're not going to take any, monetary bribes or anything like that. It's going to be straight wartime, man. That's what it's heating up to. Okay? And then you look at the ancient kingdoms spoken of in Daniel, the 2nd chapter. All right, the whole statue of Nebuchadnezzar, it represented all those different kingdoms, right? Well, one of those kingdoms that was represented was the Medo-Persian Empire. All right. Well, the Persians today are those Iranians over there. All right. And the Medes are the Russians, man. Okay. But I just wanted to bring that out as a quick reference to, the book of Daniel. But anyway, continuing on, verse 18, it says, their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. It's talking about those missiles when they, begin to shoot them over here in different parts of the earth. The missiles ain't going to spare. the missiles ain't going to care if you're a child or a pregnant lady or, old man, a teenager, a toddler. When these missiles get to flying, they're going to obliterate and destroy many people, man. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And you understand that Babylon is synonymous to America. Okay? You see what I'm saying? And the end of Sodom and Gomorrah and those other neighboring cities, I believe it was a total of 5 cities over there in that region. They were destroyed by way of fire. All right, the Lord rained down fire upon Sodom and Gomorrah. All right, well, this time it's going to rain down upon America, Babylon the Great, aka spiritual Sodom. All right, promotes a whole bunch of sexual immorality and homosexuality and just, insane behaviors. Their fate is going to be fire too, except it's going to be from thermonuclear missiles in the midst of World War III. And everything that you see happening in the news is moving a step closer towards this happening, man. This is why we are telling you Israelites to repent, to turn back to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, all right, because he's the only way you're going to be saved out of this coming destruction, man. It's going to just go downhill from here. America's not going to bounce back. It's getting deeper and deeper into this shit every day that goes by. All right, we're just telling you before it happens, man. All right, and I just wanted to bring this out through the spirit, news and prophecy, man, playing out all according to the scriptures. So yeah, man. Get your mind right and get your spirit right with the Lord, man. I'm in this lesson right here. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. Kwam Yasharala in the Bible Ball. Shalom.